It's a constant upgrading of gear. That's what I've found. Gear will serve me for a really long time, and eventually I will get to a point where I hit a wall, and it's not serving me anymore, and I need to get something better. Hey everyone, if you're new here, my name is Claire. I'm from Newfoundland, Canada. I'm a music producer. I work part-time out of this space in my house and part-time through a real studio, which is a dedicated space. I've been making music in a bit of a DIY way for pretty much as long as I can remember. And over the years, I've accumulated some gear that's made my process a little more streamlined and a little bit easier. But today I just wanted to kind of go through the gear that I have and when I got it and why I got it. I am a huge believer that you can make music with anything that you have. If you have a smartphone or an iPad or a laptop, you have enough. You can record music. It's just that having the equipment and the software that the really big producers use it's nice. I started on a MacBook. It was my mom's MacBook that the whole family used, but I used to just sneak it down into the basement and sing into the little built-in MacBook microphone and put it into GarageBand, and I had no MIDI keyboard, so I used the musical typing thing in GarageBand, and it worked technically, but definitely not my best work. Over time, I kind of accumulated a bunch of different gear that made my mixes sound better and made me more confident in my recordings. So I'm just gonna walk through a little bit of that today, and maybe it'll give you some inspiration about where to go next if you have a really small setup, if you wanna upgrade your setup. So let's go. So the computer that I operate off is a Mac Mini. I believe it's a 2018 model. I got it right before they put out the silicon chips, but I bought it with the intention of recording with it, so it is a more powerful model. I got an i7 chip, and I think it's 16 gigs of RAM, and I haven't had any issues with it as of yet. Before I had this computer, I had a 2012 MacBook Pro that I absolutely ran into the ground. And you know what? It worked really well for a really long time. By the time 2016 or 17 rolled around, it was it might be time. And honestly, no shame in it. I ran it into the ground. It's not her fault.
It's not you, it's me.
All modern computers will have the capabilities to do whatever it is you need to do. If you're getting into crazy 500 track recordings, then yeah, maybe you'll need something new. But especially if you're just getting started and you're just trying to do a minimal setup, just use what you have. If you have a little laptop that you can get a software on, cool. If you have an iPad, GarageBand for iPad's great. I've heard Logic for iPad is also great. Even if you have a phone, there's lots of phone applications that work really well that lots of people actually use. So let's move on to the interface. So I need to find the model number because I can't remember. It's a Steinberg UR22 Mark II. I've had it for a good few years now, not a hitch with it. I know most people use the Focusrite Scarlett interfaces. Those seem great too. To be honest, when you are in that price range, there's probably not a whole lot of a difference. If you're gonna want more inputs, it might be worth doing some more research. But for most people, especially if you're recording by yourself, you're only gonna need 2 inputs. Unless you're wanting to record drums or something, then that's different. But if you're a bedroom singer-songwriter, just wanna get an acoustic demo down, 2 in, 2 out is all you're gonna need. At least for now. It's a constant upgrading of gear. That's what I've found. Gear will serve me for a really long time, and eventually I will get to a point where I hit a wall, and it's not serving me anymore, and I need to get something better. That's true for pretty much every piece of gear. Just as you get into more complex stuff in recording, you're gonna want something new, something different. Consumerism, but also functionality. New things are coming out all the time. You're gonna want new things. Just trust. And speaking of the interface, now we can talk about mics. So this mic that I'm recording on is a Slate ML-1. I got it pretty recently on a Black Friday sale. I think I paid $649 for it. New, they're a little over $1,000 Canadian. If you're able to splurge on this, I would 100% recommend it because it is a modeling mic. It comes with a software where you're able to take the signal from this mic and then it'll emulate a bunch of different vintage mics that have been used on really big, serious recordings, and they're super accurate and they sound really good. But I know this is maybe a little more high-end than some people are looking to invest in. So I had a USB mic. It was called a Samson Meteor mic. If you get a USB mic, then you don't also have to get an interface. Once you get into condenser mics, then you're also going to need to buy an interface. So if you're just looking to test the waters, then getting a USB mic first might be the best move for you. But yeah, the first real condenser mic that I bought was an Apex 550. I don't think they make it anymore. Eventually I hit a wall with that one and I got an Audio-Technica 4040, I believe. It's just a cardioid large diaphragm condenser mic, which means it only records from the front of the mic, which for most vocal mics is all you need. For most things, it's all you need. And I loved that one. There was nothing wrong with it. I know they have the AT2020, I think is the level down from that one, and that's probably an easier price range. But yeah, I use the Slate ML-1 because I like it, and it's versatile, and I can do what I want with it. I don't personally really deal with miking amps and stuff, I just prefer to use amp sims. But if you're looking to mic an amp, get an SM57. You literally cannot go wrong with an SM57. It'll do pretty much anything you want. But if you're looking to get decent vocals, it's probably worth getting a condenser mic. Earlier I mentioned the GarageBand musical typing function. So that one got old really fast. So I invested in a USB MIDI keyboard. The first one that I had was a Master Key 49 from Acorn. Again, I don't think they make it anymore. Am I old? No, I'm not old. But now at home I have an Arturia Keylab Essential 61, which I love. They come in different sizes, so the 61 means it's 61 keys, but they also come in 49 and I think 25 too, if you want a really small one. They are not weighted keys, which if you're like a piano player, maybe that's something that will be important to you. But for me, when I'm just trying to get ideas down, it's totally fine. It also has some drum pads on it, which is really helpful if you're looking to do MIDI input drums. The keyboard also comes with an incredible library of software instruments, and I use them all the time. I am not sponsored by Arturia. If they would like to sponsor me, then hit me up, Arturia. But no, I love this keyboard so genuinely. It's one of my favorite parts about my studio. The software that comes with it also is probably worth $600 or $700. I'm gonna fact check myself on that one. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is my headphones. I have the Audio-Technica ATH M50X. Again, I love them. I think they're incredible. They seal pretty well, but they're also monitoring headphones. So, you know, if it's really late at night and everybody in my house is asleep and I don't want to use my big reference monitors, they're great if I just want to check a mix. I actually find they sound pretty similar to my reference monitors. So if you're somebody who lives in a small space, or if you only produce really late at night, or if you have roommates that don't like listening to your music, rude, then monitoring headphones are probably the best way to go, and it's also going to be much less of an investment than a set of reference monitors. But if you're looking to get really, really serious and you've got the space to do it, then I think you should invest in some reference monitors. So the reference monitors that I have behind me, I think you can see them. I don't know. I can't actually see myself right now, which is really disorienting. Anyway, the reference monitors that I have here behind me are the Yamaha HS8s. Again, love them. I'm realizing how much I love all my gear now that I'm talking about it. Or, this is what all the cool young folk do now. I think that's weird. Bring back this one. So yeah, these are the ones that I use now. For a really long time, I had the Yorkville YSM5s. I never saw an issue with them until I got rid of them and I replaced them with these. On my Yorkville monitors, my mixes took me probably 6 or 7 hours, and now with these it takes me maybe 2 or 3. Reference monitors, I will say, are probably the only thing that I have on my list here that you probably shouldn't get a cheap version of. You should probably hang on and stick with your monitoring headphones until you have the funds and ability to invest in a really good set of reference monitors. But again, The monitoring headphones, I keep looking over here because they're right here. These, incredible, so good. And finally, let's talk about plugins. So I admittedly used only Logic stock plugins for probably 5 or 6 years. Like, I didn't invest in any plugins until pretty recently. And they're really good. I still use a lot of them, even though I have some other plugins that I use now. The Logic stock plugins are incredible. But if you're looking to invest in some plugin bundles, I would really recommend the Slate Digital subscription. It comes with so many things and I use pretty much all of them. Also not sponsored by Slate, but I love their plugins and I love the ML-1 microphone. But Slate, if you wanna maybe hit me up, I would love that. Another plugin bundle that I would recommend, or any of the plugin bundles from Waves, really, anything that you can get your hands on. They have a lot of deals on all the time, like around Black Friday and around the holidays especially. Just maybe subscribe to their newsletter and see what they have whenever they have it. Particularly, I love the CLA series, especially the CLA bass and the CLA drums plugins. And also there's lots of free plugins online. Anyway, moral of the story is you do not need to spend thousands of dollars on gear to make a decent mix. If you are watching this video, congratulations. You have everything you need. But thank you everybody so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I really hope that you got something out of this video. If you're starting to accumulate some gear for a home studio, I hope this was a good guideline for you. If you have any questions, just pop them in the comments. I love to hear from you all. And this is kind of my niche, is this home recording thing. So I love talking about it. So please let me talk about it. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you could hit like and subscribe so that the algorithm would like me, would very much appreciate it. And I hope you have a good day. Thank you for letting me be a part of your day. And yeah, see you next time.